A huge new update, a huge new team, and a huge new rumor. All of that and more coming up on your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. And if you're ready for that, Khasino, tell them what to do, brother.
Let's go, X-Force.
ValleyFlyin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. I am ValleyFlyin, and as usual, I am joined by my brother, Khasino. How are you doing? How has your week been, brother?
It's been pretty good. Lots of PvPing. I hosted a PvP tournament. That was exciting. I finished my timed run of Dark Dimension 3, so I got to promote a 7 red star, and I got to take a ton of characters to tier 14. It's been a lot of fun.
Okay, hold on. Don't gloss over that. Who'd you promote?
A bunch of characters. The 7?
Yeah.
Mr. Sinister.
Oh, that's a very good choice. Very good choice. Yeah. All right, and what a perfect segue, brother, because coming up on our first item of the week, because there's a lot of stuff, and guys, there's a lot of different topics. Timestamps are in the description here, and if you're listening on the podcast, thank you. All right, first thing is about our boy, Mr. Sinister, I guess your boy, your 6-star edition added to the War Store. My goodness, I guess what are your thoughts on him being added to the War Store, and what are your thoughts on him as a 7 red star character now?
I mean, adding him to the War Store I think is great. War Store characters aren't actually too hard to farm, and he is he's an awesome character, especially as a 7 red star. He can just do some incredible stuff. The 7 red star version of Ultron clones are actually stronger than Ace Ultron. Like with more health. It's crazy.
That's funny. That's cool. All right. Something else that happened that was announced on this blog post. They're extending the 3-hour daily energy reset. I think they upped it from 2 to 3 for the quarantine, and they're extending it one more time. Thoughts?
I mean, I hope they just make it the new standard. So, like, it's a nice gesture, but I
like it. I like it as a standard as well. There's been some times that I'm like, oh man, I'm super busy. I'm like, got it. I still got it. So I hope it is a new standard as well. Quick note before we move on to some other more exciting things, especially about this X-Force in this update. Blitz coming up this week. Ironheart, you've had an extra week to play with this character. Any other thoughts on Ironheart that's different than what was said last week?
No, I don't have it at an incredible level. So I have been getting super unlucky with red stars lately. I did a Whale Wars live on stream today, and it went atrociously. I got to open a bunch of Elite Fours because of the change to the War Store, the Alliance credits, which we'll talk about. I opened, I think 1 or 2 Elite 5s. I think 2 Elite 5s. I got a gold drop, and somehow everything went maximum terrible. So my Ironheart is still only 3 red star, but how strong my Ironheart is doesn't change how I feel about the character, which is that she's mainly for power armor and she's mainly for war. When it comes to power armor in war, they're incredible, and they're one of the top offense teams. And being able to take out Red Skull Hydra teams is nice. Being able to go toe-to-toe with the Asgardians is nice. They have a lot of good uses, and anything that isn't one of like the absolute top tier war defenses, they just smash effortlessly with massive punch-ups. But she's a bit of an enabler for her team. She kind of sets the stage for them to do their thing, but really her value is in being a war counter to Red Skull. So I don't think people are going to be making that big of a deal about Ironheart outside of war.
And now she can actually do it now that the bug is fixed. And I guess we'll talk a little bit more about it when we talk about bugs. But speaking of war teams, let's talk about this new and improved team, or not new and improved. I guess some of them are improved. 2 out of 3 members are improved. Let's talk about these guys. Boom. The X-Force. My goodness, how excited are you that this team is in the game?
I'm very excited. First off, I like the characters. And so, like Deadpool and Cable are awesome characters. And it's good that, now they have a concrete team that they work really, really well with. And I like their function. War is one of my favorite game modes. So having a bunch of characters I really like, really succeed in a mode that I really enjoy. I see this as an absolute win.
And war offense this time instead of war defense. Personally, I find those war defense teams a little boring, so I'm happy that it's a war offense team. I like this team. It is another war team, another blitz team, so not usable in a variety of game modes. But this team has some unique things that it does, especially with the Deadpool. I mean, there's a bunch. We're gonna get into all that, but I like this team. It might not be a meta team, maybe on war offense, but I like it. It works well together. Fun animations. They're a fun group.
One thing I'll say about this team, they're gonna be awesome, right? They're gonna smash in war. We know they're gonna make easy, quick work of the Asgardians, easy, quick work of Coulson teams. We haven't seen them into Hydra yet, and we haven't seen them into the Mercenaries yet. But an interesting thing about this team is they have so many like conditional speed mechanics. Unlike other teams, they have all these different methods to gain speed, and it's up to you. Like, do I need to use Cable Special, or can I use this basic first? And should I throw the debuffs to Deadpool through Domino, or should I wait on that because I can give him speed? So who goes when? Like with other teams, you can plot it out, and there's really not a lot of variance unless like you hit someone with a slow or a stun or something. Like, all right, character A is going to go, then enemy character A is going to go, then my character B and C are going to go, then enemy character B will go, then my four. You know what I mean? Like you can have an idea for how it's going to go. With X-Force, every single match, you just have to be like paying full attention to like, okay, who's going to go when? Is this going to drop this person low and give her speed to go too early or too fast? And then if you put the debuffs on him, am I going to speed him up too much? And then he'll have this ready before that stealth and defense up drops off or whatever it is. Like there's it's a very chaotic team. I like it. And ultimately being able to have a say in all these different ways of giving them speed is very nice. But oh man, they're a very difficult team to wrap your head around, like trying to predict how they're going to perform in a match. They're all over the place. But they're strong. So they're, the safe answer is they're going to crush it. But understanding the intricacies of exactly how and when they're going to crush it is definitely tougher to keep a hold of.
Yeah, you mentioned that was one thing that I didn't think of when I was looking over their kits. It kind of reminds me sort of the Black Order, because you got that Thanos special. You could use it on turn 1, or you could hold that, use his basic, and then Proxima's got a few different moves. So I wonder if that's kind of the way they're designing teams now, to give you a few options, not just the standard cookie cutter. Turn 1 you do this, turn 2 you do this. Turn 1 you could do this, or this. Turn 2 you could do this, or this. You think that's kind of the direction they're taking some of these newer teams that they're putting out in the game now?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been a thing. So there's teams that are much more like teams. A perfect example is like the original Spider-Verse, and even still to some degree the current Spider-Verse and Supernatural. These teams are good, but they're particularly good when player controlled, because the AI might go after the wrong debuffs or use things at the wrong time. Like an improperly placed Winds of Watum will make or break a Supernatural team's performance in a lot of scenarios. Same thing with like the symbiotes, which is like if you're against a Hela, you can keep killing Greg and generate a bunch of additional turns to change the turn order. But if you don't attack the right target, if you don't go after the Greg, then Venom won't get the speed he needs to land an ability block before someone else goes. There's a lot of that. And so they've always kind of had that element in the game, which is that there are teams that the player has to pilot. But again, this one, there's just so much speed flying around. It's really, really hard to keep track of.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of like that, because no two matches going to go exactly the same way, So it's not just a cookie cutter match, a cookie cutter team. So a lot of
I agree with that.
All right, so good as a team. Let's talk about them individually. I guess let's go in order of their release or expected release. First character in the game right now, Domino. She's already in the game. I guess you have already played with her. What are your thoughts on her kit now that we've seen the numbers? The embargo was lifted today. We see some of the interactions. You've got to play with her. Thoughts on her right now? First impressions, I guess.
I mean, she's all right. I think she's pretty team reliant. A lot of what she does is pretty X4 centric. So I think if you're going to run Domino, you have to run Deadpool, because when Domino is on the field, Deadpool's like the king of the Gregs. So Yeah, he'll just keep
strong
popping
Greg,
back up.
strong Greg.
Yeah,
Stronger
Uber
version of
Greg. He's Uber Greg. But yeah, so you know, a lot of what she does, like one of her strongest mechanics is she's constantly giving out evades, but it's on X-Force ally turn. So you know, she needs to be with X-Force to really shine. Like and like one of her abilities, like taking all the debuffs and throwing them onto Deadpool and giving him a bunch of speed. She's really meant to tag along with him. Like wherever Deadpool goes, Domino needs to go. So you can use them as a pair, but I don't. There's certainly a decent duo, but I don't think it's going to be as simple as like, oh, if you drop Domino and Deadpool on a team, now they're this super crazy, impossible to beat team or anything like that. But they have good synergy, which is also true of Deadpool and Cable, especially now. But yeah, I mean, they're at the end of the day, they're really designed to work together, and they at least Domino, I don't think has a ton of value as a solo character. Again, it's not to say she's valueless, but I think you're mainly going to see her with X-Force.
I get one other thing. I agree with everything. I like her animations. I think of the bunch, the character animations in game. This might be my favorite of the bunch. Just the grenade tossing, the sniper not even looking through the scope there.
I'll give it to her. I love her evade. Her evade is amazing. She does like a butterfly kick type of twirl.
I saw that on your stream. I like that too.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's in the video footage they sent us too. But quick piece of trivia that I noticed in the video footage they sent us, and I didn't get a ton of time to watch it. I started the video like late in the evening yesterday. I was up till 7 a.m. finishing it.
Jeez.
I know. I've been busy, dude. I hosted a PvP tournament on Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been very busy. But so there was an AoE that killed Domino and Deadpool at the same time.
Oh.
And Deadpool revived at 80%.
I didn't notice that. I watched the Asgardian footage and I watched the Shield footage, and it just dominated. Nobody died in that. I didn't watch all of the raid footage. So
I think this was from the raid, but yeah, they both die, and then Deadpool still comes back, and then he's killed again, and obviously he doesn't come back because she's gone. But
still had that 10%. What is it? Like a 10% chance for him to keep reviving?
5 or 10, yeah, something terrible. But the fact that she still revives him even if they die at the same time is pretty lucky for him.
Like very, very lucky, right? All right, let's move on. Who do you expect to release next? You want to do Negasonic or do you want to go X23?
I think Negasonic will release next.
Yeah, she was in the blog post, right? So all right. What are your thoughts on her? We got her kit revealed in the blog post last week. Numbers this week. Initial thoughts so far, just based on what we've seen on paper.
She's pretty awesome. I like her as a standalone character. I like her a lot. Yeah, because she gains a lot of barrier on her own, and she gains a lot of speed bar. And when she has that barrier, she gains a lot of armor. You know, she has good health. Like she's a tanky character who does a good amount of damage. So I like her, but I'm excited to see her. I think she actually will work really, really well as a PvE character, specifically for things like campaign and raid, because she's gaining speed bar when every time an enemy takes a turn. And so in modes where there are 10 enemies on the field.
Oh, gotcha. Now I see where you're going with it. Nice. Yeah, very, very, very curious to see. And her base damage looks pretty good as well. So, you know, maybe even maybe not PvP, but yes, I'm very, very curious to see her. Let's get to the last character, X23. Now, personally, I thought this was the character that had the most standalone value out of the bunch. What are your thoughts on X23? How she fits into this team?
Well, I think she's ferocious on any team. She works great on that team because of all the speed it allows her to do crazy things. But yeah, I think she's just an awesome character, and I have loved Black Panther for a long time, and I've said for a while now, if I could have anyone at 7 Red, I think a 7 Red Black Panther would be the most fun. Yeah. I think X23 has officially killed that dream. Black Panther is old news. I want 7 Red star X23 now.
Another victim of power creep, T'Challa.
Oh yeah.
All right. Is that his name or is that his dad's name? I don't know.
No, that's
sometimes.
No.
Okay.
R.I.P. 7 Red T'Challa dream.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So I think she's really good. Like the better version of Wolverine, unfortunately, just kind of victim of power, or I guess a beneficiary of power creep.
An early ability block is nice, but all about the resets. When she drops someone below, what is it? It's 50% health. She gains 40% speed bar, or did I flip it?
I don't have the kits pulled up in front of me, so I don't remember.
She gains a lot of speed bar when she drops people even kind of low. Yeah. So I really want to see. Oh, and then she heals on every turn because she's the Wolverine clone. So I want to see how she does as a fourth member of the symbiotes, just because they're all already gaining tons of speed for dropping people low. Yeah. And not only that, but she provides an ability block that they can spread. And she flips stealth into bleed, which they can spread. So
now, are you thinking of splitting that up for maybe a Blitz team? Or, I mean, I don't think you would want to split her off into a symbiote team for war offense. Keeping her on the X-Force,
correct. Yeah, no, she'll be on X-Force for War and Blitz. I just mean for fun, maybe for there might be a raid team there, possibly if they put out enough damage. Just a fun comp. Like sometimes we discover fun comps that don't have any practical purpose compared to just a ton of the top tier characters. When we were doing the top 5 teams infographic, we figured out that right now the top arena team has Black Bolt, it has Ebony, it has Phoenix, and so I think it was Kanage just called it Legendary Soup. So some of these fun comps that we found don't necessarily stand up to Legendary Soup, and the people evaluating teams are pretty fickle. Like, well, if they're not the best, why use them? But we had the What Are You Blind team, which was able to keep blinds up on people like 90+% of the time, which is really fun and really troll. And again, against a strong enough team, they have a bunch of unavoidable abilities and they can flip stuff. Like it's not an unbeatable strategy. So same thing with the symbiotes and X23. I don't know that they'll be perfect for everything, but in terms of like if you're speed clearing an old raid, so like my alliance just did all the first difficulty, like the first time clears of the various difficulties of Ultimus 6 just to get all the rewards. Yeah. So in that you can use any team. So if I just ran symbiotes and X23, like the enemies on the nose wouldn't get any turns, right? They would just
you drop them, you get more. Yeah, you drop them, they get more turn meter and stuff. Yeah.
So fun stuff like that. I don't know where I'd use it, but it looks like fun. And she's a brawler too, so she can go on a hero brawler team. So
yeah, I like her.
I see a lot of people asking like, oh, who do I move where? And a lot of people already have Deadpool and Ms. Marvel on their hero brawler team. Yeah. So I'm like, boot off some of the people that aren't doing that much and aren't worth that many points, Blitz points, like Gamora, and bring Cable and Domino over for now, just for now. But like, even though Domino isn't a brawler and won't get the Ms. Marvel assist, Deadpool will always get double assist. So,
I you know what? That sounds fun. I might try that for my Domino Deadpool X Cable test.
Ms. Marvel in America. Ms. Marvel and America Chavez will round out your X-Force for now.
I like that. I like that idea. That's a good one. But speaking of those two, Deadpool, Cable, they got a little rework. Deadpool got a little better. Cable got really, really good. What are your thoughts on both of these characters and their reworks?
I like the changes to them, and I agree with that. Deadpool got better, but a good amount. Like he got a little bit better on his own, but a lot of what got better about him, he relies on other members of the team.
Like his passive, his Domino passive. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a big part of it. So he's not that much crazier. He got like a stat boost and stuff, but he got a lot of synergy. Cable just got better.
Jeez. You know what I was saying? He's going to be one of the top characters. Do you think with this rework, he as a solo character, arena, just because of all the speed bar, or not really?
So sort of yes, and I'm kind of upset because I'd been saying for a while, Cable is always one patch away from being relevant, and
this was his patch. Is irrelevant.
Well, they just changed him. So everything I was saying was about the original Cable, And I'm glad he got changed, but everything I was saying was about the original Cable and his passive giving people 5% speed.
To throw out the turn order of teams.
Right, okay. Right. Well, so I won a PvP match earlier where I brought in Cable because they had comped to be able to blind my opening assault by having a blind that came in just before. And I brought in Cable. Now, I felt more comfortable bringing in Cable because now he does a lot of other stuff. So he just was fine in his spot now. He's got more health and he could dispel. He did lots of good stuff. But I would have brought the original Cable in anyway because it allowed me to go before the blinds and kill people and decided the match. So it's unfortunate that will have never been realized. I would have loved to have had that. I told you so. I told you one day Cable would be back, and now it's like, oh no, he got reworked. He's just good now. But oh well, he is back. But I'm not trying to take credit for this being like, I told you this is a rework. So you can sit around saying one day Nebula is going to be who we're all using in Arena, and then maybe that'll be true someday if she gets reworked. But
she'll need a rework for that. Yeah.
Cable, I was talking about his passive. It just takes one patch where 5% speed makes the difference, and Cable would show up and be the answer. But I'm fine with new Cable too, and his passive still does that. So it's
now
easier.
His special one is passive. My goodness, his passive is a wall of text. The basic with the charge, yeah. It was barrier, right? It gives him barrier, correct?
He gets a lot of barrier, but his basic gives him 80% speed if he's not charged.
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, so that was kind of weird about his kit. You do his basic, and then you have to wait a turn for his special. He's like a slow character, really slow character. So
you're talking about originally?
Yeah, originally before.
No. Well, so there wasn't really a reason to charge up Cable special in the past. Like it would hit more targets for another 10.
I think it did something slightly better. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It hit people 2 spaces away, but it did no damage and it took away 10% speed bar. And it's like, well, it's way more important to rewind someone up front. So I'm not going to wait for that. So you just used a special up front and then it didn't really matter. There were matches where it made sense to hold it, but now it's like, well, now you don't have to make that choice. Just use the basic. Like you can still open with the special and that's a big deal. But in a lot of matches now, it's like, well, you're basically, if you want to use this basic, you're trading his basic to lose 20% speed bar. And that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, a lot of times. You don't even need to wait for that basic to get charged in war offense as well. So
right,
that's one good thing that he got. With
and he'll use that. He'll use the special, lose the charge, and then immediately regain it and get a bunch of speed. Yeah,
very good, very good. All right, so let's talk about
this
team
and how good they are. I just for people in the comments, let us know. Well, no, you didn't know I was going to say this. It's all good. I've been hearing that his charge mechanic and gaining barrier isn't working properly. I'm hearing that he's getting barrier on other people getting charged. Someone earlier said that their storm got a charge and he got barrier from it. So I haven't verified this myself, but if you're noticing any weird interactions with Cable's barrier, let us know in the comments.
Got it. Yeah, we'll talk about more bugs because every update, Deadpool, Cable, they got their reworks. They make this complete X-Force team. They are billed as a war offense team. We've seen footage of them taking out Asgardians. We've seen footage of them taking out S.H.I.E.L.D. How good of a war offense team do you think this X-Force has the potential to be?
Well, top 3 at worst.
Nice. And what about the other 3 meta teams right now? Meta war defense teams. Do you think, theory crafting wise, just in your head, do you think they'll be able to do some damage against maybe Mercs or Hydra or maybe the Marauders?
I want to see how the timing works out with the mercenaries. I don't remember. I think Taskmaster, I forget how much speed he ends up getting, but I think Taskmaster might go before any of them. And depending on who he blinds, you won't have the Dominos. I think it's their special right away to remove the blind. So I think they take the damage. But they gain a bunch of speed. They might gain an evade. Yeah, I'd have to see.
Doesn't Domino remove some speed from the enemies in war offense?
Yeah, she does.
Am I remembering somebody else's passive?
Well, someone does. I forget who. I think it's Domino, but someone removes some from them. But it's not a huge amount. It's like 5% but they gain a whole bunch. So, and I have to look at like what can't miss, what'll ignore blinds. I'm just not equipped to say, like I said, like I didn't take a serious look at their kits until last night when I stayed up till 7 a.m.
So Mercs potentially, what about Hydra? Do you think this team has enough sustainability to last through all those waves of Hydra?
Depending.
X23's passive, maybe?
Right. That's what I'm thinking is X23 might be able to go on a crazy rampage, and then they'll have a bunch of evades, which are great against Hydra because they hit so hard. But if you can just make them miss, that's fine. And they don't have stuff they can't miss. You've got like the ability to buff clear is really good on Cable and the speed bar rewind. So I feel like they would do fine against Hydra, but I'd have to see it. But because they're going to get to go so early and remove so many buffs and stuff, I feel like they would do well, but it's a matter of once they've gotten all the kills that they need, or once they've used all their cooldowns, how much they have left in the tank to sustain off of, because Hydra is good to go for a while. But they have a good amount of mechanics for getting speed back. Like if the Cable ult gets a kill, then he gets speed and Deadpool gets speed. X23 is going to give herself speed. Negasonic is going to keep getting speed every time they take a turn.
And is it someone giving out ability energy as well? I can't remember who
Deadpool,
does that.
if he gets a kill on his special, gives out ability energy to Cable.
Doesn't one of the newer characters give out ability energy as well, or am I remember that?
I don't think so. Okay. I could be wrong. Again, I looked at these very quickly. Unfortunately, I'm not super familiar with their kits right this minute, but I know Deadpool special, if he gets a kill, he gives ability energy to Cable. So that's what I remember from the ability energy gain. I think that's it though. That's it.
I'm curious because we know they can take out the Asgardians. I'm curious about some of these other teams. So
I think they'll beat them. Yeah, that's really it. I think they'll beat them.
Cool. Well, I it seems like you're right, but I do want to see firsthand.
On paper, I was like, the Wakandans should beat these guys, and that wasn't a close. We're usually pretty good about it, but the thing is, it's a matter of sitting down and mathing it out takes a while. So if there's a day where I'm like, I'm going to sit down and spend 45 minutes doing all the math, then I can tell you the answer. But
all right, if someone in the comments has already done that and knows about that, then let us know, guys. All right, Phoenix event came back. A lot of people unlocking Phoenix for the first time. A lot of people upgrading her from 6 to 7 stars. Thoughts on Phoenix at this time?
She's still easily one of the best characters in the game.
Even with Maw and Crystal in the game?
Even with Maw and Crystal in the game, 2 counters does not make a character bad. Ultron's got a few counters these days, and he's still incredible. Yeah, it's just that simple. Like against a team of Ebony, Maw, and Crystal, Phoenix isn't quite as good, but Ebony, Maw, and Crystal are not characters you see everywhere, and they're definitely not characters you see at a very high power everywhere. So even if it's like, and we're not at that point, but even if we were at the point where it's like, maybe it's time to stop using Phoenix in Arena, which again, it's not the case. But even if we got there, like, still she's incredible for Blitz. Still she's incredible for War. Still she's incredible for Dark Dimension 3. You know what I mean? She's just. Yeah. It takes a lot more than that to like the fastest way to knock a top tier character out of contention as one of the top characters is to replace them, because introducing counters until there's like 10 characters that counter them. Yeah, it's like, well, they're really good. Just avoid these handful of people. But like when you come out with symbiote Spider-Man, now it's like, why would you ever use normal Spider-Man? Yeah. You know what I mean? You want Phoenix to become irrelevant. You just need a better Phoenix. And then it's like, why are you
Professor X about Phoenix? Comes to the game and takes her out.
Yeah, something like that. So that'll be what really kicks these super top tier characters out of the meta, is when someone just does their job better.
Agreed. As far as timing of these legendary events, it looks like if they go according to their schedule, Star-Lord should be next. After that, Invisible Woman. Do you think they're going to hold to their schedule? They seemingly have been pretty consistent the past few events, correct? They haven't gone out of order.
Yep, I believe so. A lot of people keep asking me, is so-and-so going to get demoted out of Legendary? And I I don't know if their plan, if they're like, let's always have 8 legendary or whatever the number is, and every time we add a new one, we'll drop the oldest or weakest one. And even then, like, they remain legendary characters. They just become available at different star unlocks. Like, it's just whenever you have the characters, you can go get them. Yeah. But it only really made sense to do that for Iron Man, because Iron Man is just not a god tier character by any stretch of the imagination. Like, even with synergy, even if you build a whole team around him, Iron Man just does not deliver like the other legendary characters. He just doesn't. Yeah. So he's
even a character like Star-Lord, who's not as good as some of the other ones, still very, very good compared to the rest of the roster and the team. So
correct, yeah,
they do deserve that legendary status.
Yep, like I look for, if you're going to be legendary, you should at least be like in the top 5th of the characters. And Iron Man's not in the top 5th of the characters anymore. Star-Lord, in the most recent tier list, we actually took Star-Lord down a demigod, and it's because his burst, like, that used to be one of his signature things, was this big ultimate, and so many new characters just hit a lot harder than him, which means that he's got his blinds and his energy grant, but like Taskmaster can do his blinds but better, and that's also unavoidable. It comes with bleeds, so he still has a unique function as an energy battery. But if anyone was going to be on the chopping block, it would be him. And again, that, like, BoxX has not said or done anything that would indicate that they're looking to drop more legendaries. No. But I think if a legendary was going to get dropped, it would be him. Because I've had people being like, "You think they're going to drop Nick Fury?" Like, no, Nick Fury's still really awesome.
And one last note from last week's blog post: looks like the Relic Hunter event is returning this week. So ABCs, baby.
ABCs and SBCs.
Yes. All right, and now I guess it is the new mode that you've been wanting to talk about, the new real-time PvP mode, a new balanced draft. You've been wanting this for a while. All characters at or above gear tier 9 will have their power modified to sets level to even the playing field. I know you have tried this. What are your thoughts on this game mode?
I like it. It's not an all things even, no matter who you are, how far along you are in the game.
Explain how it works. The wording on this is a little strange.
Basically, you have to have a character at gear tier 9 to qualify for the mode. If you don't have them at gear tier 9, it's like you don't have them. And if you don't have them, like you don't have them. If they are gear tier 9 or above, then in that mode, they are automatically set to gear tier 13. Okay. 7775 abilities. Ooh. 7 gold, 0 red, and I believe level 75. Okay. If it's not level 75, it's level 70. That's the only one I want to double check, is whether it's 75 or 70. But either way, it's even.
So you say automatically set to 0 red. Is it 0 extra red, or just whatever red you have? Zero red. Got it. So it does truly even the playing field. I like that.
Yeah, as long as you have the character and you have them up to gear tier 9.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Like if you own Ebony Maw and they don't, then they can't pick Ebony and you can. And
that's cool.
Right, and if you own Ebony but you just got him and he's still gear tier 5, then you can't use him because he's not gear tier 9. As soon as you get into gear tier 9,
I like this.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I still would have preferred in all things equal, but I get where they're coming from, which is that they still want people to be incentivized to gear the characters and to unlock the characters. And I think that's kind of fair. And like, hey, listen, you can PvP with characters you actually have. If you don't have the character, you can't PvP with them. Like that makes it unfortunate for newer players who just don't have that many characters. Like, well, they just can't challenge people who do have all the characters, but at least they can do matches on even playing field. And at least then you can, like, gentleman's agreement of like, hey, I won't use the characters you don't have. So, I have Ebony, you don't, but I won't pick Ebony, and you can at least get there. So you can have tournaments where you make, because this is for all powers, we're going to ban the 5 newest characters or whatever. Not that you have to, but at least it's an option. So of all the compromises to making an all things equal mode, this one's pretty darn close.
I like this because, you know, I haven't played as many PvP matches as you have on stream, but one problem I've noticed is, you know, someone comes along, they haven't been playing the game as long as says, hey, I want to play a PvP match. They just don't have the roster. As long as they have them at gear tier 9 or above, it doesn't matter what the roster is. You got this mode and you could pretty much play anybody. So I like this a lot.
Yep, it's pretty cool, and it you're starting to see how characters really compare, because like a perfect example is one of the I don't know if I want to put this out there because this is one of the better
secrets, the tricks.
Yeah, I'll give away this secret. I think
Nice.
I've moved on, but so there are 2 characters that can put a defense down on someone really, really, really early in a match. And in the normal PvP mode, there's really only one because no one is going to be using the second one. So everyone just uses Loki, and it's either, you know, Loki is picked or Loki is banned, but Loki is your path to getting an immediate defense down on someone so that you can maybe, you know, do a quick kill or combo off of it and spread defense down, things like that. Mm-hmm. The other one has been a sleeper pick, and I've actually still been able to use it to some effect just because people aren't expecting it. People think that they got rid of Loki, that's it, now they're safe. And you lock in that final pick, Green Goblin, who puts, as soon as he lands on the field, he picks the person with the highest resistance, and he has an unavoidable, unresistible defense down that you can combo off of. And I've been catching people off guard a bit with that. But there were plenty of matches where it's like, like everyone in this match is like gear tier 14. So even though Goblin is the pick here, that defense down has to win me the match, because otherwise my 60k Green Goblin's going to get devoured by like 100k Captain Marvel or something. Yeah. And in the all things even mode, it like, no, my Green Goblin is going to hit exactly as hard as he's supposed to if I had him maxed out, compared to, you know, everyone else proportionally. And so, yeah, it's very interesting. You know, like it might make sense to use Ant-Man in a match now for the 2-turn ability block if you can, because he's, you know, it would make zero sense to use Ant-Man in the normal draft because he would just get blown up because who has a giant Ant-Man? But yeah, so there's a lot more.
That's another thing I haven't thought of, because some of these characters that do have value, like the Ant-Man, like the Green Goblins, I don't have them built up. I don't use them in normal PvP, so that's another benefit that I didn't think about this new mode for the PvP.
Yeah, there's some characters you're still never going to use. I'm not going to use Ravager Bruiser or Ravager.
What?
Sorry, but there are 2 characters in particular who just made off amazing in this new draft mode, and immediately shot up to being like the top 2 picks or close to it. And that is Ultron and Ultimus, because now no one has red stars.
Ultimus, I forgot about it.
Ultimus is now as strong as everyone else. So now Ultimus is a bit slow, and you don't see a lot of taunting. So Ultimus, I just said like he became one of the top characters, but I mean stat wise, Ultimus is not necessarily a priority pick. He's very, very, very situational in PvP, but Ultron is now, because he's on, like everyone has no red stars, it might as well be a 7 red star Ultron. He's ready to rock and roll.
And one thing about this update that kind of came out of nowhere, I was not expecting this, but I'm very happy that this was added. We finally get to use all of our start tech credits in the war store for war credits, elite war credits, elite 4 credits. I think this is awesome. What are your thoughts on this?
It is awesome, and also mine are now gone. All gone. And I still only have I got a bunch of elite 4s. I still only have 2 red star Domino. Not lucky at all. I had my worst opening. This is slightly off topic, but I had my worst opening of Domino's orbs and my worst red star orb opening for a new character. Domino is supposed to be Lady Luck, and I've had atrocious luck with her.
What is going on? She is supposed to be bringing you luck. I don't know.
She's not. I don't know.
So let me put my tinfoil hat on about this thing. Do you think this is a ploy to get us to spend all of our start tech credits so that all the room bonuses that were previously data mined about a year ago, they're coming soon, and that is what this is all in relation to?
Yeah, well, it's like probably, but it's not, I don't think it's as simple as like they did this and then very next patch, they're going to drop the room upgrades on us. And that's when we're going to go, oh, we shouldn't have spent them. They got us. I think they're like, if we just put that in, it's enough of a bad trade-off, but at least like they'll be happy because they get free stuff. And they have no reason to assume that there will be other things to buy with this. So presumably just buy that. And
even if they do come, this is some pretty good stuff though. It's not like you're like, oh, I'm going to buy some training mats or, you know, some, actually training mats are pretty good, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It
is. Now I haven't done the math on how quickly we get the Stark Tech credits. And I haven't done the math on which one of those items in the shop it makes the most sense to buy yet. But I do know that it's definitely not an incredible trade-in value no matter which you buy. And again, it's still like, hey, at least we got to get some stuff with them.
Yeah.
But I forget how long we've been banking those for, but I think I had like 4 or 5 months at a minimum, like 4 or 5 months of those credits that I have had absolutely nothing to spend them on. Again, at minimum. And I spend them in one day.
I think pretty much all the alliances that were around when the Stark Tech came around should have been ending it around the same time and kind of had this huge surplus. So yeah, it's good we finally get something.
Surplus is gone in a day, so it's.
I wasn't as quick as you. I didn't do all these refreshes. You probably spent a bunch of cores.
Core refreshes, but my point is, if I was able to spend a day, so if I was initially responsible about it, I could have 2-3 days to be all be gone, something that built up for months and months. So the trade-in value is interesting. And it depends on where you're at in the game. I want to see the math on it. The normal war credits are pretty good for something you want. The elite war credits are definitely good for mini uniques. But yeah, I'd want to do the math on that's the short version. I just want to do the math on it. People are asking me like, which one is the smartest buy? And I can't answer that until I do the math.
Just buy them all. Whale harder, guys. Buy all of them. So we got note of this health bar update in the update notes, and it was a little weird at first when I first went into the game. What was your first thought when you saw just a few health bars on your new characters as opposed to what it was before this update?
Well, so it makes sense for them to have done it because they want to add in things, like they want to keep adding more and stronger characters. So we want people to be able to keep gaining more health. You know, a year from now, we want some new crazy Titan tank to have like 500,000 health or whatever. And
just be all black lines. You can't even see any green.
Right. Well, that exactly that. But so actually, here's what's worse. And I don't know if this was smart, but I had been trying to figure out for a while, like what is the formula for those black lines? Because League of Legends has a similar system. A solid black line separates every 1,000, and then there's like little half black notches to show each 100. Mm-hmm. So at a glance, it's pretty easy to tell how much health someone has in League. It's nice. In this game, I tried so hard to figure out like what is the formula for this, and what we arrived at was, once you hit a certain amount of health, you just have 15, what do they call them? Pips. You have 15 pips and that's it. And like you can have 200,000 health and you have 15 pips, or you can have 300,000 health and you have 15 pips. And so it makes it like, you know, it doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
And there wasn't,
And so, I remember you asking this question and it was like weird. It's like, hey, what is going on with this? Why is it not consistent? It's like, oh, it's coming up tomorrow in the update. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, I was like, what kind of timing is that?
Since this game has launched, I've never solved the formula for where the hell it came from, and it finally bothered me enough the other day that I was like, can someone explain to me how I can interpret what I'm seeing on these health bars? And they're like, yeah, we're changing it tomorrow. It's not much clearer, but at least now. So I'm going to assume that visually hasn't changed, which is still 15 is the max. But I'm going to guess, I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to guess that there are no characters now that can have the full 15 yet. And that's probably what they've done, you know, is make it so that like maybe right now the characters with the highest health in the game, even with all the buffs and everything, it'll go up to like, you know, like 11. And that way they have room to keep expanding it rather than it just.
Well, I'm hoping that they made it some changes to make this sense so you could see visually what's going on instead of just increasing the numbers across the board. So, you know, yeah, we'll see what happens. And I think this is due to something coming up. We're going to talk about in the rumor section that could possibly be the reason for this change. All right, so other thing that happened in this update, we got a Red Skull correction with a bug, but this one came with 10 Red Skull shards. Interesting. They've fixed bugs in the past, and there's a bunch of other bugs that they fixed in this update, but this one came with shards. What do you think this means? What do you think that anytime they have bugs, we're gonna get some shards for these characters, or is this one-off?
I hope so. I don't know. I mean, I think they're starting to feel a bit more pressure from the community regarding all these bugs. Did you see the joke I made a few days back that was pretty well received?
No.
So
what was...
you remember they sent out the thing about the donation and you know, Black Lives Matter and
yes,
that whole thing.
Here we go. Donating $1 million to the Black Lives Matter, Equal Justice Initiative, NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's a really great thing that they're doing, you know, trying to influence more positive social change in the world. Definitely something that I support. And I just think it's great that they're donating $1 per bug in Marvel Strike Force to a very important cause. So
super generous. I mean, yeah, all these bugs, I guess they had a positive effect on our community. All right, Domino, she's got an event, the Serendipity event. It is coming soon. And let's take a look at this orb, this Serendipity orb, the characters in there. What are your thoughts on this event while I'm looking for this orb here?
I didn't even get a chance to actually look at who has the tag or anything. Again,
look, you know what? Let's go look at the tag, and then we'll come back to this orb. The luck tag is who you can use for this event. So let's find that here. And Lucky actually is the name of the tag. All right, we got a bunch of good characters here. Oh my goodness, symbiotes. It's Phoenix. I mean, you got meta characters here. I mean,
yeah, because you're lucky if you have them.
Yeah, jeez. There's a lot of. I mean, yeah, you should have no trouble finding good characters with this lucky tag. Yeah. Any thoughts on this? Jeez.
No, it works for me. I think a lot of people are gonna, you know, look at, all right, who can I use for the campaign? Ooh, that's lucky. So.
Jeez. All right. Yes. So that was who was in the luck tag. But let's talk about this orb, this Serendipity orb. We'll see who's in this orb here. We'll go down to this uncommon drop. Couple good characters here. Some of them are farmable. Some one unfarmable, or two. Toad and Domino right there, but some pretty good characters in it. What do you think what are your thoughts on this orb and the rest of this event?
Yeah, again, it's, you know, it's going to be another campaign event. I don't have unique thoughts on this per se, but it's good that it's another way. I like that they at least give you a chance to get shards of, you know, fairly new characters that aren't farmable elsewhere. Like you mentioned, Toad and Blob. It's good that there's another avenue for getting them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And again, I had no luck opening orbs for Domino. So
what kind of red stars you pull on Domino?
Two.
Oh, jeez.
2 after $100 Whale Wars, and then like another $40 in Red Star orbs, a whole bunch of elites.
My goodness.
Not only that, but I think the highest drop I got for her from her character orbs from her offers was like a 12. Yeah,
I got very bad luck with the character shard opening as well.
Yep, I had like this thought in the back of my head. I was like, well, she's supposed to be Lady Luck. Like, I wonder if they did like a fun thing where everyone's gonna have above average luck on her orbs. No, they have not.
She has the luck. You don't have the luck.
No,
she has the luck. You got bad luck. What are you doing with her?
Yeah, once you have a 7 gold star, 7 red star Domino, you have amazing luck with her orbs. Apparently, I don't know.
You have to get that to get Domino to that level. You have to have amazing luck to get her to that level.
Yeah.
All right, another tag added to the game, and this is kind of puzzling. I guess you have I don't know if it's a theory or if it's something officially announced, but the Unity tag. What do you make of this new tag in the game, Unity tag? Is it for an event coming up?
Yeah, so I don't think it's a new tag. I think last June they had another Pride event.
America, right?
and they had I believe that was the Unity tags. And so I think, I think once a year in Pride Month, I think they bring back the Unity tag, and Negasonic has a girlfriend in the Deadpool movies. Yet another reason why she's awesome. And so, yeah, I think that's the reason for the Unity tag, and we'll probably see more events like that.
So you think she's going to be an event release character?
I think they said she's going to be a milestone release character, but
I heard milestone as well. So I'm wondering what the Unity would be, or maybe it's like the Blitz milestone.
Right. That's my guess. Is like with Cyclops and with Ghost Rider. I have to assume that they are pretty happy with their Cyclops and their Ghost Rider release method, because I don't know about you, but most people I know, like if there's a Cyclops offer or a Ghost Rider offer, they all jump right on it. But even like that's after they had their original event where people are like, oh, this is pretty nice. Like I'm going to get them to 4-star when they first came out. So these are these Unity tags start thinking of Blitz teams, I guess, with these characters, right? Yep. I mean, if you're not someone that blitzes a lot, you just want to do the minimum, make characters with these. If you blitz a lot, you're gonna hit it anyway. So I don't know if you got to make unique teams for this. All right, and it looks like they're finally adding an Ultimus store, much requested. Many wasted shards on these Ultimus orbs, but looks like a little bug right here. Some people seeing this in their accounts right here, and yeah, Ultimus sword. What are your thoughts on this? About darn time. Yes. And very fortuitous that we found this out early. Someone asked Cerebro about it. They're like, so you guys are finally adding an Ultimus store? And he just responded with the zipped mouth emoji. Like, well, we weren't supposed to be talking about that.
There it is, right
here. But so there's no way to know what's going in this store. And so it still makes some sense. Like if you have characters that it would be a big deal if you got, like 15 shards of them, it makes some sense to still open Ultimus orbs. You know what I mean? Like if, the Star-Lord event is coming around and you're like, if I have 15 more Yondu shards, I get 7-star Star-Lord, something like that. Yeah. That one might be a bad example, but you get my point. Is like if you're on the cusp and it could make a big difference, you can still open them. But to me, this looks like a pretty clear sign. Save your Ultimus orbs.
Yeah, especially if you already have a 7-star Ultimus. I mean, there's really no point. That jackpot in that store is not that good if you already have them at 7 stars.
No, I mean, there's a chance, like they keep putting new characters in there. So there's definitely characters in the Ultimus orbs that it still benefits to have. Like I think Mr. Sinister might be in Ultimus orbs, for example. I could be wrong, but
yeah, right, I think some of the Black Orders and the premium orbs are probably in the Ultimus orbs, is what I'm assuming as well. So there's some good characters, but at the end of the day, I'd much rather have this store. What do you think is going to be in her gear? Like a lot of other games have in these overflow stores. So
there's a couple things about it. The first thing is like it's Ultimus orbs are already like something for the end game players to do. It's a very, like if you're a new enough player, you don't even run into Ultimus orbs. Yeah. And then once you have Ultimus orbs, it takes a long time just to get 7 gold stars on Ultimus. So I don't know what we can expect, but I think it's whatever's in there, it's going to be very, very geared towards late game players. And so
mini uniques.
It could be mini uniques, but the thing is, whatever it is, they have to make sure, like the point of Ultimus orbs have always been like you get some benefit as a late game player, but you get a very small benefit. So you are slowly getting ahead of people, but mostly not. Like it's mostly wasteful. Like so many Ultimus orbs recycle back into themselves. And it's like when you get 15 Corvus shards, you're like, aha, there's 15 Corvus shards that newer players can't get because they're not opening Ultimus orbs, but it's mostly to slow you down. So
it's that inception, just getting more Ultimus orbs.
Yes, trading in 19 Ultimus orbs for 3 Ultimus orbs, which you trade in for a quarter of an Ultimus orb. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, but that it's like that by design, which is like we're getting ahead, but slowly, and that gives people time to catch up to endgame players. So I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be a similar thing. What would make sense is if, and there's no reason to assume this is true, but something like the mini uniques that you would eventually one day use for like gear tier 15. I could see it being like, if you trade in what would be for like 20 Ultimus orbs, you can get like one gear tier 15 mini unique, and you'll need 90 of them for an item, you know, something like that, where it's like you get a little head start on something. But we'll say, you know, maybe it'll be crazy generous. Maybe it'll be like, oh, wow, we're getting lots of T4s and superior gear. Wow, this is great. But I don't know. I just feel like they're, you know.
Well, if they make it like other games, like the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes was kind of based on, you're gonna have gear of all kind of levels, kind of like the raid store, and then one, maybe two characters in that store.
I want a trophy character.
Yeah, I would be happy if they did something similar to that, but it's Foxnix, or Scopely now, not Foxnix anymore. So who knows what they're gonna do?
Yep, I want a trophy character in there, and then I don't think they would put this in there, but maybe they would put in like 6th and 7th red star for Ultimus.
Oh, maybe that's where it's gonna be. All right, and there are some bug fixes with this update. The big two, I think, we just talked about. The Ironheart ultimate ability now can counter Hydra because of the percent extra focus, not just the base flat focus. And Thanos' passive finally working properly. Black Order, best team, even better now. And then a bunch of characters, a bunch of fixes to Red Skull for those shards. Any big ones stand out to you, including the ones that I mentioned just now?
You said a bunch of fixes to Red Skull. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest one is the Black Order one. Thanos is going to get so much more speed now, and that's pretty nuts. So we're going to have to reevaluate the team. We just put out the top 5 teams tier list just prior to this. And some people were confused, like, why isn't full Black Order just the top offense or the top defense team? And so I guess I should go ahead and address this. Not that this was too much about this, but it'll circle back around. A lot of people have been asking why there wasn't full Black Order. And so the way that we typically do it is for team 1, if it hinges on a really rare character, which in this instance is Ebony, we look at like, all right, all the team combinations that have Ebony need to be in this number 1 area. And then the team 2 is for people with Phoenix and Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, but not Ebony. And then the team 3 is for people with Phoenix, but not Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, Ebony. And we do it like that, where it's kind of like, you know, this is the ideal version if you have these characters. But yeah, so because otherwise the top 5 would.
Yeah, I was wondering why it was like that.
Right. Well, because otherwise the top 5 would just be like Phoenix, Black Bolt, Yo-Yo, Ebony, like all just combinations. They'd all be legendary soup. And people would be like, yeah, thanks a lot for this graphic. I don't have Ebony Maw, so I can't use any of these teams. You know what I mean? So yeah, there'd be a lot of that. So the full Black Order didn't outperform the best legendary soup that we found, but it's possible now with Thanos getting a bunch of extra turns. Maybe now they do, because they weren't much worse. They were slightly worse, slightly less reliable, slightly less adaptable, but they were pretty darn close. So I'm interested to see now, you know, they might just be the top now. So
yes. Oh, and Ronan got fixed as well. So yeah, his minions a little better. That was something that was addressed or noticed pretty early on in the last update, but got noticed that it wouldn't be fixed till this coming update. So that's a good thing. Oh, and Taskmaster, his shield and sword look weird, and they look fantastic now. Where is it? Right here. They look fantastic. All right, and yeah, look at this. It looks fantastic, brother. It looked weird before, but yeah, I think it looks fantastic.
That was the important fix for sure.
It was.
Forget the sound issues. I don't care. Black Bolt can keep crashing the game, but man, his shield was bothering me.
I think it looks. I'm very happy with that. Any new bugs? Usually there's a lot of new bugs. I'm not seeing a lot, brother. What? Other than some of the minor ones that you've seen and some of the stores being shown a little early, anything major happening in this update that anybody's complaining about, or anybody in your chat?
No, not yet. Now we'll need to, like in the previous patch, it was like, oh, each new character had some bugs of theirs. And so, like I said, I haven't looked into this one, but someone said Cable was gaining barrier on other people getting charged. Yeah. So that could be one with Cable, but I don't think I've noticed a Domino bug or anything yet. And yeah, otherwise it's been pretty clean. Like I said, the Ultimus store showing up when it wasn't supposed to.
That's
and
cool.
then
That's cool.
This could have been a BlueStacks thing, but I was loading into a PvP match and it hung at 90% in the new draft and kicked us out. But I think that might have been because it was loading assets for a new character. I think that might have been a BlueStacks thing, but I haven't noticed anything major. But you know, give it time.
Man, it's the first update. I can't remember how back that there wasn't something game breaking in an update, dude. This is crazy. Is the QA team back, or did they get a new QA team? What is going on there?
And check this out. They went down for maintenance exactly when they were supposed to.
So what was they get the Scopely name, and now they're like on the ball and double checking things? Is that what happened this week?
I don't know. I think they got tired of getting roasted on Reddit, and for good reason. Like it literally just became a thing of like, wow, can they do anything right? And so I think they're like, no, you'll see. We can go down for maintenance when we're supposed to, and we can release stuff that works as intended. I hope. But
we'll show you guys. We'll show you guys.
But again, like someone acknowledged the problem. You know, we talked about their hiring for that like senior QA position. So there's at least one person over there who's like, what are you guys doing? And I know Cerebro is actually one of those people. Cerebro definitely behind the scenes, like. If you can just imagine, you know, Cerebro's not going to go on Reddit and be like, this game is so freaking buggy. God, these devs are incompetent. What are they doing? You know, like he works for FoxX or Scopely, whatever. But I can assure you, because everyone brings all the new bugs to Cerebro, that anytime there's a new bug, it probably just cut to Cerebro in real life, just banging his head against the wall. Just like, why is there another one of these? So...
you know why?
Cerebro
because he can't go walk to the person's office and just, come on, do your job right.
Right.
Now he has to do a virtual call. Do your job right, please.
I don't know, but I don't know if it's a solo effort, but shout out to Cerebro and Zeeks for, I'm sure, being like, can you guys please just let us do one fun community thing for a week without 19 people asking us why we haven't fixed XYZ? Just a week would be nice, please. What are you doing?
Yes. Now, something else that's a little unique with this patch, brother. Look at the Datamines. Usually, we get a new patch. We have a bunch of Datamines. Only thing, new uniques for. Let me move this up here. New uniques for Domino, Negasonic, and X23. Maybe something coming up in the next few days, but it's kind of unique that we're not seeing a lot of data mines, right?
Yep. I mean, I know how to data mine. I usually don't because other people do it, so it's easier to just wait and see what they post. But I'm aware of how to do it. It would take me longer to do it than other people, but I can go dig in there and see if those people just weren't around to dig stuff up today. Takes a while.
They're usually running a ball, so interesting. So hopefully some other things will be popping up in the next few days. But luckily, we got some rumors from Drew the Rumor Guy coming through, and came through with a pretty big rumor in my opinion. One word, isotope. Does this bring a smile or a frown to your face, brother?
A frown. Chemistry class was dull.
Oh, I enjoyed chemistry class, but I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, ISO 8 was a word that we heard a while back as far as a data mine. It was a playtest server, and we can't talk too much about that. But from what you've seen in the data mines and what you've seen about this kind of mechanic in other games, what are your thoughts about this potentially being added soon to Marvel Strike Force?
People have been asking me for a while, like, what feature do you want the most? And this was before I had even considered, like, live PvP would have been my answer, but live PvP was like at the time, like beating a dead horse. Like, we all love live PvP, but for obvious reasons, they haven't done live PvP. So I guess we're not getting live PvP. So I'm not going to bother to say that one. But so what I used to always say when people ask, like, what's your most wanted feature? I would say, I want ISO 8 because it's a way to further skill expression in the game and allowing people to make smart investments and craft specialty teams. And if ISO 8 works in a generous enough way where you can actually influence things that, I want to see if there's actually opportunities for really interesting combos. A perfect example is like a crit team. There's certain characters that hinge on crit, like Killmonger, and I've said this before in talking about ISO 8. So I'm interested to see if like a special crit build of Killmonger combined with some of the characters that give crit can produce, a really interesting team centered around an always critting Killmonger, something like that. But interesting opportunities. Maybe I think there's a character who does damage based on their health. So
I don't know. I'm getting there's so many games in my mind and so many characters. I'm getting kind of confused. But there's some pretty interesting mechanics in that Datamine, right? Some like off the wall ones that you don't really see in other games. Do you remember any of these? I remember that we were like, oh, that should be cool, but I don't remember what they were. Do you remember any of these?
Yeah. So they had like mode specific ones where it was like so first off they had like extending of buffs. So it was like if you got a defense up, it became a 2-turn defense up, things like that, ones that extended buffs and debuffs. And then there was like ones that did certain things. So it was like extra damage to blaster enemies and extra damage to city enemies and things like that, like very, very specialized ones.
Yeah.
And then I think there were mode specific ones where, so for example, that you could have put like, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but to give you the concept, it was like you can have 10% max health. And again, that probably wasn't the number, but whatever, 10% max health in all game modes, or 20% max health only in war, or 20% max health only in raid, where you're like, if I equip this, they're stronger for the one mode, but not in the other, things like that. And again, those might be weak examples, but it's the concept I'm getting at. Is there were things targeted at certain types of opponents, and there were things that were designed to be stronger in certain modes, but weaker in others. So yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of coolness that ISO 8 can bring if it comes to the game. Obviously there's going to be some headaches that it's going to bring as well, especially with the management system. So hopefully if it does come, it comes with a good management system that it's not going to take too much time, and it's not something that's a huge drain on a game that already takes a long time. I think that's a lot of the community is fearful of, but I think it can add some new layers of depth and theory crafting that could be fun for the game.
Yep, and I was really happy with set bonuses last time, and I don't know how much of this I'm supposed to disclose or not. And the last time I got some harsh words from people over there. It's because I said too much.
All right, so be careful with what you're about to say.
I'm simply going to say this. It's been a long time, so there's no reason to assume that what I'm referencing is going to in any way, shape, or form appear in the future. Maybe they kept this, but there's no way to know. I have no idea, so I wouldn't worry about it. But it was a cool concept. A set bonus was the idea that if you equipped various pieces from the same set, it would unlock a bonus as you went on. And so most of the set bonuses weren't that exciting. But one that I remember being like, this could be a thing was, I want to say that it gave like a 30% chance for the character on their turn to generate one ability energy for themselves. And I forget if it was like for themselves or for a random ally. It might've been for a random ally, which like that is undeniably a nice perk, but
that could change a whole battle.
It could, but not in a reliable way, because it's a low chance to happen and you can't control who it goes to. Like, it could change a whole battle, but
I'm thinking in like Blitz matches where you're like, oh, I'm going to beat this team, and then something gets thrown off about their turn order or something like that. That changes the whole battle. Like, whoa, how did I lose to this team type of thing?
Right. Well, that's assuming that the enemy team has that kind of setup. But yes, it would add a little element of chaos. And again, maybe, there will be absolutely nothing like that, but there were some cool ideas in that vein of things. So I hope that they keep some of those.
I kind of like that element of chaos. I hope they do add some weird things like that. Make the game a little less predictable. All right, so that is about it, brother. Awesome time as usual. Thank you once again. It is always a pleasure, my friend. Let everybody know where they could find you before you take off. I'm around discord.gg/Khasino, youtube.com/Khasino. I've been streaming every day around like 6 p.m. Pacific time. But yeah, if you're on my Discord server, just keep an eye on the announcements channel and you'll always know when I go live or post a new video. And showing off a lot of
a lot of top tier gameplay now that we have a bunch of gear tier 14s from finishing the Dark Dimension 3 timed run. This time, actually, I want to give a shout out to my most recent VOD. In one day, I hosted a PvP tournament, so you can watch the whole tournament. That was pretty cool. And then, in addition to that, I was almost done with Node 8 of DD3 and ran all the way in a single night through Node 9, Node 10, Node 11, Node 12, Node 13, Node 14, Node 15, and Node 16, and finished it all in one night. Someone donated $100.
How many cores? $100 worth of cores.
Someone said for $100, can you finish it? And I was like, I think I can, and I did. So.
Nice, cool. Well, yeah, check that out, guys. The links are going to be down below, and thank you guys for watching. It's always one of the most popular videos of the week, so thank you guys. If you guys did like this, subscribe to the channel, smash on that like button, join the notification squad so you get notified every time a new video goes up. At least 4 Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel. And if you're listening to the podcast version, leave us a nice review on whatever platform you are listening on, and I will see you guys next time. Check out some of the links down below if you want to support the channel even more, and I will see you guys next time. Khasino, give me a Hulk fist bump before you go. ValleyFlyin and Khasino out.